The nominal group technique has been shown to enhance one or more dimensions of the effectiveness of a decision-making group. The act of requiring individuals to write down their ideas silently and independently prior to a group discussion increases the number of solutions generated by the group. And the round-robin polling also results in a large number of inputs and fosters more equal participation among group members. As compared to interacting groups, the nominal group technique provides more unique ideas, more balanced participation between group members, increased feelings of accomplishment, and greater satisfaction with idea quality and group efficiency. A study found that in response to three different problems requiring creative thinking, the number of ideas produced by nominal groups whose members were actually working alone was actually greater than the number of ideas produced by real face-to-face groups. The ideas generated by the nominal and real groups were rated qualitatively and for originality, and the nominal group scored better on both of these measures. The nominal group technique is defined as a structured method for group brainstorming that encourages contributions from everyone and facilitates quick agreement on the relative importance of issues, problems, or solutions. Team members begin by writing down their ideas, then selecting which idea they feel is best. Once the team members are ready, everyone presents their favorite idea, and the suggestions are then discussed and prioritized by the entire group using a point-based system. The nominal group technique combines the importance ratings of individual group members into the final weighted priorities of the entire group and is commonly used when some group members are much more vocal than others, when some group members think better in silence, or when some or all group members are new to the team. It can also be used when there is concern about some members not participating. The group doesn't easily generate quantities of ideas, or when the issue is controversial or there's a heated conflict. The opening statement is important because it can set the tone for the entire meeting. It should include at least three important elements. One, the importance of the task and the unique contributions of each group member should be noted. Two, the group should be informed of the session's overall goal and how the nominal group technique results will be used. And three, the four basic steps of the nominal group technique should be briefly summarized. When a large group is to be divided, it is best to present the opening statement at a plenary session before each subgroup begins its work. That way, everyone will be operating under the same procedures. The opening statement clarifies member roles and group objectives and should include a warm welcome, a statement of the importance of the task, a mention of the importance of each member's contribution, and an indication of how the group's output will be used by the organization. Distribute the question on individual sheets of paper or display it before the group. Read the question aloud to the group and ask members to respond to it by writing their ideas in short phrases or brief sentences. Remind them that because you will not be collecting their lists, good penmanship is not important. Ask members to work silently and independently. If you are a subgroup leader, demonstrate good behavior by doing your own silent writing. Immediately, but diplomatically, stop disruptive behavior such as talking. Some members may ask about the meaning of the nominal group technique question. You may illustrate the degree of abstraction desired or call upon one of the members of the group to do so, but do not lead the group in any particular direction. Tell persistent questioners to respond to the nominal group technique question in whatever way is most meaningful to them. Allow 4 to 8 minutes for this step. In a large group, a shorter period of silent writing will appropriately limit the number of items the members produce. Explain that the objective of this step is to map the group's thinking. As you go around the table, each member is to present orally one idea from his or her own list in a short phrase or brief sentence without discussion, elaboration, or justification. You will continue to go around the table until all ideas have been presented and recorded on the group's flip chart. Explain that each member is to decide whether his or her item duplicates one already presented. A member may pass at any time, but may re-enter the process later in his or her turn. Continue to call on members who have passed. Encourage members to hitchhike on others' ideas and to add new items, even though these items may not have been written down during step 1. The leader or assistant should record items on flip chart sheets legibly and as rapidly as possible, numbering items in sequence and recording them in the member's own words. If possible, avoid condensing and abbreviating. It is very important that the participants know that they have produced the items and that the list belongs to them, not you. Ask long-winded participants to come up with simpler wording. If this causes delay, tell the person you will return for a shorter phrase, and then move on to the next member. Explain that the purpose of this step is to clarify the ideas presented. Read each item aloud in sequence and invite comments. Members may note their agreement or disagreement, but arguments are unnecessary as each person will vote independently in step 4. Do not waste time on conflict. As soon as the logic of an idea is clear, cut off the discussion. The meaning of most items will be obvious to the group, and little or no discussion will be necessary. Announce in advance the number of minutes to be devoted to this step. As a general rule of thumb, allot 2 minutes time the number of items. If the time is short, allow only the number of minutes until adjournment plus 15 minutes for the voting in step 4. Encourage viewing the list as group property. Anyone can clarify or comment on any item. If someone asks about the meaning of one of the items, it is productive to encourage someone other than the contributor of the participant item to clarify what it means to him or her. The group leader can model good behavior at an appropriate point with comments such as, well, to me this item means blah. There are several ways by which the participants can express their rating for the items included on the final list. One of the simplest methods is to provide each participant with a set of self-sticking dots, usually 5 dots, and ask each participant to quickly and without talking place a dot next to the 5 phrases or statements that they feel are most important on the list. Using dots is an easy and quick way for participants to express their preferences. When voting is completed, tally the number of votes each item received and place that number next to the item on the flip chart sheet. Briefly review the results of the voting and identify the items receiving the highest number of votes. Ranking of items is also a simple and usually effective voting technique. Sometimes ratings are used, with each of the 7 most important items on a list rated on a 1 to 7 scale. Ranking is usually preferable, however, because it can quickly be tallied and the results easily interpreted. Ask members to select 5 most important items and write 1 in the center of each card. They should write the item sequence number in the upper left-hand corner. Brainstorming documentation should include specific pieces of information, such as the topic of the brainstorming session, the date, the name of the facilitator moderating the session, who was involved in the session, and a list of the top goals you're trying to achieve or the problem you are trying to solve within the brainstorming session. It is important to take note of all the ideas you come up with during your brainstorming session, including the advantages and disadvantages. Then you will need to write down the final decision that your team has agreed upon, as this allows a documented track record of why a final decision was made and designate action items to each individual present so that someone is directly responsible for following up during the brainstorming session. Every week, we upload new videos between 5 and 10 minutes in length, where we will focus on the strategic implementation of Lean and Six Sigma. As a Six Sigma expert, I am passionate about quality. And if you are too, then click subscribe to be notified whenever we upload our next Lean Six Sigma video.